What was the original spark for rebuilding?
Well, the basic urge of the film, or desire of the film, is just this desire to believe in a beautiful future. And the challenge, of course, in doing so. And that had been in my mind a long time, as it is for most people, probably. And the catalyst of the film then ultimately was a fire in which my grandmother's house burned down, which was devastating, of course, but also life did go on in a strange way, and the forest did come back in a different way, but it has begun to and is, and it sort of presented this paradoxical experience in which the loss led to a reinvention, and the reinvention presented some sort of future in which we can reimagine the way we live and rediscover who we are, and in doing so retain some sense of home that's otherwise so uncertain.
One thing that struck me was the film seems to be saying that most people are essentially good. And the film also delivers a kind of message of hope. Was there any kind of philosophy behind that, given the political times we live in?
Yeah, I believe that hope is a choice, and I choose it. And the films are an expression of that choice. I think it's like an act of exercise, just like, one goes for a run to stay in shape, one imagines hope and sees it in order to retain it. And that's what this is. Not everyone in the world is kind. We all know that, but many people are. And I do believe in finding ways to tell these stories and to tell hard stories and to ask hard questions through people doing their best and caring for each other and telling the truth.
Are there any films or filmmakers or even other forms of art that you feel informed the making of rebuilding?
I mean, there's certainly filmmakers I really, I admire Aki Kaurismäki and Alice Rohrwacher and the Coen brothers, I suppose. But mostly when I think about art as an inspiration, it's probably more music and like wilder country music, more stranger folk music, people like John Prine. I think those traditions are where I first saw a version of rural America presented very emotionally and sensitively, and even a version of masculinity presented very sensitively. And those are still the artists that I go back to again and again when I'm looking for the feeling that I want to present.
What was the visual look you were going for with the movie?
Well, I worked with great cinematographer Alfonso Herrera Salcedo, and I think the goal with the movie was a look that is grand and is beautiful, but without being saccharine or unrealistic, letting the nature speak for itself, the mountains, the sunsets, presenting them as they are in a way that's magnificent, but also very much true, which is so important because the characters' experience of these things informs so much of what they do in the film. We wanted to try to balance sort of this iconic familiarity that we have with the American West in cinema. I mean, it's so classic, it's so cliched, it's so wonderful, it's so boring also and familiar. But again, like, how can we do it simply and honestly in a way that honors it by, showing it as it is.